I thought I'd do something different and do a little voiceover, just so I could talk a little bit more about what's happening with this horse and what I'm doing in the video as well. Unfortunately, I'd missed a few training sessions. I was only training him weekly, and so there was some large gaps in his training. So when I did come and train him and his companion pony, they were pretty much over the top excited, and I spent a lot of my time just calming them down before I could do any quality training. So I've rearranged things so I can come at least twice a week, sometimes 3 times a week. So prior to this video, he'd had a session approximately 3 or 4 days ago, and then I also did a session 2 or 3 days after this session in the video you're going to see now. And the difference between the weekly sessions was just incredible in how calm they both were, how much they were thinking and problem solving, and how much progress I made. This is to be expected, of course, and they're also in quite an unenriched environment due to weight issues with the pony. And it's autumn here, so we're keeping them off the grass, and unfortunately that can get a little bit boring for them. Here I am entering through the gate, and he always stands back very nicely. And you could see a station in the picture here, and I also have another food station out of camera shot, which I use to give him a break from training at this spot. So I've dropped food on the snuffle mat. He ate it really quickly and followed after me fairly quickly to the other station where there's just a bucket. He does a nose target, and I drop food, and then I come back to this station. Sometimes I have a bucket down the hill so that he walks up to the hill and positions nicely on the mat. This is the routine where I start to move around the side of him, starting with his easier side, which is his right side. So he's learning that he just stands there, and sometimes I move and he just has to stand there and eat. And the previous rep he did a little lean back, but this last rep he was great. I'm not checking Facebook there, I'm checking whether we're in camera or not on my GoPro. And although he's standing awkwardly, which is another indication of how he's feeling, he has yet to step back or lean back, which is what he'd done in the past. Because standing alongside him is quite scary. I stepped back there just to make it a little bit easier for him. But you see, he stepped away. So I may have noticed something, or maybe just thought in my head, that went on a bit too long, that session. He needs a break, and sure enough, he stepped away, which is what I want to avoid. So I just reset him, give him a little break by walking to the other bucket. I offer the nose target, and my timer's going off. Drop some food in the bucket, and then I come back to this station, which is the main training area. Again, the nose target is just a really simple, easy thing we've done a lot of that helps keep him comfortable. And then I do the same thing on the more difficult side. He learns that he stands still, and sometimes I move, and he gets food for me doing something weird. Again, he's standing quite awkwardly, so that's a good indication that he's not fully comfortable yet. But again, he hasn't backed away or stepped away or leaned away from me yet. And the pony companion in the background is running around, unfortunately. So I alternate between moving or just offering the nose target to try and keep it really easy. You can hear the pony running, unfortunately.
Good.
It's great to see this horse is still standing here calmly, engaging, and now his nose targeting a halter, which is really great.
Good.
For some reason, he's not particularly scared of the halter from what I can see so far. He may never have been haltered, I don't know.
Boy. Good boy.
He actually
Good boy.
ducked his nose into the halter. That's why I said good boy. And gave him an extra handful. And I'm just checking to see why the other pony's running around. Which could just be a bit of excitement wanting to trade next. But he must have settled because I'm continuing with this guy.
Good.
And this time I raised the criteria by actually standing on the side and offering the target rather than standing and him walking face on to me.
Good.
And he's standing again in the exact same awkward position, which is really interesting.
Good.
That was me doing a weird movement, just lifting my arms up. And again there, and you could see his head bobbing and he's wondering what I'm doing. He's a little bit nervous, but again, no stepping back, leaning away. He's slowly learning that I just do weird things and he just has to stand there and eat and it's all okay.
Good.
And then again, the nose targeting of the halter. The nose targeting is a well-liked behaviour now. Sometimes if he sees the halter in my hand, he even looks like he wants to target before I've offered it, which is really great. And again, he actually pushed his nose into it a little bit, and that's why I said good boy and gave him a bit of verbal praise and information and a little bit of extra food.